This is part 2 of favor. I talked about the inevitability of favor in first part 1, that this is the second way of gaining favor with God and mankind, because we should have favor with both God and mankind. If you are watching this video for the second time or for the first time, remember I'm Ondego Chieng. So we're going to talk about the mystery of preparation. So over the years, many people, favor has been erroneously perceived by many people as just unmerited, leading many who trust in God for favor to become very lazy, because they know very well that this favor, it is unmerited. But let me tell you, no one can be favored by God without adequate preparation. There must be some preparation when you want to gain favor. Almost everyone God used for special works as a token of favor in the Bible was adequately. They were well prepared. If you look at those people like our forefathers, like we talked about Abraham, you know, almost everyone had prepared himself or herself enough, even Esther. So you have to know that to gain favor, there must be some level of preparation. There must be level of preparation. So you must be prepared for the tasks, because as far as God is concerned, preparation precedes what we call favor. Any preacher who undermines the importance of preparation while placing you on a prayer and fasting program is not doing you a favor at all. So let not somebody cheat you that you will gain favor without preparedness. So when you carefully examine your Bible, you will discover that the forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, Joseph, Hannah, Daniel, Mary, the mother of Jesus, and others were adequately prepared for favor that they received. So let's talk about some of these people. Abraham, for example, went through a severe waiting period before the birth of the promised child, that is Isaac. By the way, he waited for several years. That waiting period was a season of preparation for the blessing he eventually received. So it is always a season of tests. So you need to understand that someone who has not been tested and trusted cannot be used for certain assignments and will never be receive certain blessings from God. Joseph went through his own ordeal, known as a season of preparation. If you can read the book of Genesis, you'll find that Joseph went through some ordeal. He went through preparation. So as he moved from the pit to Potiphar's house, then to prison, and eventually to the palace, the Lord was with him. God was with him, refining him through those challenges. So that's why the psalmist recorded about him in Psalms 105 verse 19, until the time that his word came to pass, the word of Yahweh, or the word of the Lord tested him. So he was tested. So you see, people must be well prepared. So beloved, I will be frank with you. If Yahweh prepares or plans to accomplish something with you, something significant through you, he will take you through a school of preparation where he will refine you. Always we say it's a school of hard knocks. We will be preparing you for all that. Yeah, so once you emerge as a pure gold, you have been refined, then he will lavish his favor upon you. So then the world will see you and acknowledge you as a blessed child of God. So the sad thing is that many of us are unprepared for the kind of favor we expect from God. We just want to receive things freely without preparation or preparedness. So instead we rely on our luck. By the way, there is nothing like luck in the Bible. There is blessing. The Hebrew word does not have. We only have what we call blessing in the Hebrew word. That is barak. So luck requires no preparation. You may not even qualify for what you receive through luck. Yeah. So on the other hand, when it comes to favor, God will create a system or occasion to prepare you for what you are asking for, or what He intends in your life. This preparation may or may not involve specific qualification of, or depending on what God seeks to achieve through you. This is why when I hear people share their testimonies in church about how Yahweh or God has favored them, I urge them to be more explicit. They try to explain it very well in detail. It's important so that the audience doesn't misunderstand and think that God works like a magician. Now, often when people share their testimonies, they omit the process and perhaps how God prepared them for what they're sharing. So this could be due to time constraints or to make the testimony sound more spectacular. Some people give very shallow testimonies. For instance, if someone says, I attended a program last year and asked God to help me complete all my classes with the distinction. To the glory of God, the result came out yesterday, and to my amazement, I received distinctions in all my classes, or I had a first class honors, something like that, and to my amazement, I received all the accolades. That is great testimony, but I would ask the person to please explain to us the discipline God helps them sustain to become successful. So if the person didn't work hard, there is no way they could have achieved it without compromising. Yeah, without the person sharing that, some people in the congregation might be misled. They may not be willing to put in the required effort needed to become successful based on their testimony they have had. So when people give such incomplete testimonies, I don't blame them, because many of us might think they are prideful by sharing how God helped them. But if you're someone who is eager to maybe learn and grow, you won't just want to hear the testimony. You'll also be interested in that process that led to that spectacular achievement. That process is the preparation that eventually produces what we call that testimony. So, but we often overlook that. Unfortunately, our lack of interest in the process shared testimonies contributes to why many fake prophets are there to deceive. They deceive so many people. So the law of process cannot be ignored in what God intends to do through you. Yeah, so I encourage you to pray honestly and seek God's face wholeheartedly. Also submit yourself to the necessary process, which is preparation for the favor you expect from our Creator. It's very important. Failing to do so may leave you waiting indefinitely, while others step into the opportunities meant for you. This is why the writer, Dr. John C. Maxwell, states in his book titled Success is a Choice, and I quote, being unprepared puts you out of position. That's what John C. Maxwell says in his book, Success is a Choice. So preparation positions people correctly, and it often makes the difference between winning and even losing. So we have some few tips that will help you. Number one, value preparation. If you value preparation, you will always ensure that you're ready for every opportunity. President Abraham Lincoln of the United States of America once said, I will prepare and someday my chance will come. He understood the power of preparation. One of the prayers I frequently offer is for preparation, for God to prepare me for every opportunity He brings my way. I prepare this because any opportunity I am not prepared for can have what we call detrimental effect. If you are trusting God for a promotion at your workplace, don't just pray about it. Prepare for the challenges you will face in your desired position. If you fail to prepare and still get promoted, those challenges may overwhelm you. It can. But if God truly loves you, He won't answer that prayer until He knows you can handle the challenges ahead of you when you are promoted. That's why Henry Ford said, before everything else, getting ready is the secret of success. While you wait, use the waiting period to prepare for what you are expecting. You never know. That preparation might be the reason for the delay. Number two, submit yourself to preparation. Very important. It's one thing to value preparation. It's another thing to be willing to undergo it. So preparation can be time consuming and challenging, but don't be discouraged, because it determines the depth and scope of the favor you can handle. So Dr. C. Maxwell, John 6 Maxwell stated, we live in quick fix society. We think in terms of events and instant solutions that come very fast. But preparation doesn't work that way. Why? Because it's about you. Anything involving people is process oriented. In the school of preparation, God won't force you through, though He may create circumstances to guide you through it. However, if you persist in avoiding the required process, He may find someone else. Remember, Jesus submitted to the preparation necessary for the salvation of men, even through the process. Even though this process was so very severe, it was very difficult. Afterward, the Bible records that in Philippians 2 verse 9 that God highly exalted him and bestowed on him the name which is above every name. So my question is, do you desire God to use you mightily? Then commit to the necessary preparation for your assignment. As a minister, do you devote yourself quality time to prayer, studying of the word? Some people don't even study. They study on a Sunday. They study on Saturday when they want to go and preach. So are you devoting yourself to reading Christian literature to prepare for your ministry? These are essential if you seek God's favor in your work. To fully submit to the required preparation, you must practice what we call self-discipline. The devil understands its importance and may attack your finances or other areas to distract you from preparation, even your marriage, diverting your focus to money and worldly concerns. So you should stay very vigilant against his schemes, because the devil uses a lot of schemes. During your season of preparation, look beyond challenges and stay focused on your calling. So number 3, believe that God is a miracle worker. He's a miracle God, but never be passive about life to the point of over dependence on miracles. Some people depend on miracle. I believe in miracles also, knowing that God is a miracle worker. However, I also believe that miracles cannot replace what we call preparation. So if you're always waiting for instant miracles without committing to preparation, you might mistake it for faith when you're neglecting your destiny. So miracles are acts of God's mercy, and only can bring them about. So there's a pastor who said a miracle is a special intervention of God in the affairs of men. So you cannot force it or predict when it will happen. You cannot force God to intervene. Therefore, while expecting miracles, you must also do everything within your ability. God has given you the ability. For instance, if you're trusting God for a job, continue sending out applications and prepare diligently for interviews. If someone tells you a miracle job is coming, the job may indeed come, but if you're unprepared for interview, you might still miss it. Hence, that is the responsibility lies within you to prepare very thoroughly. Number 4, distance yourself from those who desire results without going through what we call the process. So the company you keep can either uplift you or hinder you. Associating with those who disregard preparation but seek instant result will inevitably lead you to desire the same. If you resist their influence, you may appear foolish to them, especially during prolonged processes. Therefore, the wisest course of action is to distance yourself from such individuals, such people. Number 5, never compare yourself with others. Don't. Not everyone undergoes the same preparation in life. We have different degrees of preparation. Therefore, avoid comparing yourself with others. Your training may be rigorous, but keep your focus on God. He knows the specific assignment He has for you, and the best way to prepare for it, He knows. You may not fully understand the process until your season of favor arrives. So continue to trust Yahweh as He guides you through your preparation. Very important. So, as I conclude, commit yourself to progression. Whenever God chooses to do something great in your life, your responsibility is to focus on the necessary preparation, allowing God to fulfill His plan on you. With this understanding, you won't be discouraged by what seems like a temporary delay. So trust that God is preparing for for every level of glory. Just be patient with Him, because God's time is the best. I think this, you will know very well from this that God wants you to have preparation. He's a God of order. He's a God who has a plan, and everything He puts on a timetable. Be blessed.